Hey guys, welcome back to Millennial Money Moves with Nadia, or welcome if it's your first time. I saw we've got some new subscribers, so thank you to everyone, old and new subscribers. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you're new. And I know you guys have been hearing about Wall Street bets and everything going on with GameStop and AMC and the stock market in general lately. The past few days, probably a little over a week now, it's just been crazy. And you might be a little lost in what's happening, but that's okay. I'm here to break it down for you guys. Well, Wall Street Bets is a part of Reddit. It's a subreddit. And within Reddit, there's lots of subreddits. But this one in particular, Wall Street Bets, is one of the most popular subreddits in finance. And the people in this chat did something that could truly change the future of investing. Now, just when you thought you lived through enough historical events in 2020, 2021 came to hit us with another one, this time in the stock market. This is a really big case of retail investors versus institutional investors, and it goes so much deeper than GME. So the retail investors, that's you and me. That's the people who invest on our own, and the people, that were on the subreddit. And the institutional investors, they're the people on Wall Street. They're the hedge fund managers, the big guys. And some people like to use hedge fund managers because they're the ones who, they sell themselves by saying they truly know the market. They've been doing it for years. They're the finance majors who went to school for this, who were big in the game, and their parents probably were too. However, it's not the most accessible thing. There's a really hefty investment minimum when you have a hedge fund manager. And so it can leave out, investors like you and me, the retail investors. And they have so much money that they can choose to destroy companies if they choose to, which could be argued as market manipulation, which is very ironic because the very thing that they were so upset about was they were saying that the people on Reddit manipulated the market. The retail investors, people like you and me, we pick what we invest in, realize that we can squeeze hedge fund managers by coming together. Because you know what they say, there's strength in numbers. So what the retail investors did, is they picked a stock with the highest shortage and the lowest float, and you'll never guess what was at the top of the list. It was GameStop, and AMC was also on that list, which is why they tried to do the same with that. Now, this type of trading that they were doing on the Wall Street subreddit is very different. A lot of people in the chats, they talk in a specific way, they have lingo, and people invest because they're like, oh, it's FOMO, I'm afraid of missing out on everyone's investing, and people just kind of blindly follow the crowd, and they just, kind of YOLO the stock market. And they're like, yep, this is going to the moon, it's going up, and it's nothing like your typical long-term investment decisions. Generally, what we know makes the stock rise is when the company is doing well. They have a good CEO, those things that I told you to look for when you're trying to pick which companies you would like to invest in. Now, GME or GameStop was not predicted to do well because the company was failing, yet the stock ran up like crazy. How, you ask? It's because of a thing called short selling. Now, a while ago, the people on Wall Street started to short sell, which means that they bet that prices, in this case in GameStop, would continue to go down. And so investors borrowed money from the stock company and they sell it, hoping that the prices will drop, and then they can buy it back for even less and profit off of that difference. However, the profits went back up, which caused them to have to buy it back at a much, much, much higher price, which resulted in them losing billions of dollars. You might have heard about Melvin Capital because they really lost a lot. And the short sellers had to buy back the stock that they borrowed, which was called a short squeeze. And since people on Wall Street had bet that GameStop was going to lower, they ended up losing money, like I said earlier, because the stock went up higher. Now, I know this is kind of confusing. Now, let me give you an example. For instance, using a phone. So let's say my friend Courtney has a phone, and it's worth $100. Now, I think that phone is going to drop from being worth around $100 to being worth $20. So I decide to short it. I call my broker up and I tell him, hey, can I borrow 10 phones? And the broker says, yeah, that's cool. I'm just going to charge you interest while you've got them. And I say, cool. So I go and I sell those 10 phones. And like I said, the phone right now costs $100. So that's 10 phones times the $100. Now I have $1,000. So let's say I'm right. And then I wait for the phone price to drop to $20. And I buy 10 new phones and I return them to the broker. Now I only spent $200. I just made $1,000 minus the $200, which was the cost of the 10 phones now, which is $800 profit minus the interest that I had to pay on the phones. So ideally, this is great. I made bank. But what happened with GME is they bet wrong, and their shares went up like the percentage is crazy so far just this year. And to give you some background, last year GameStop's stock was $3. And in the past few days, I saw it hit as high as $340. As of the end of January, GME went up, I believe, 858%. Guys, this is crazy. This does not happen. That's why it's such a historical moment. Melvin Capital, I know I've mentioned them earlier, but they in particular lost billions of dollars. Hedge fund managers and the people in Wall Street were not happy about this. And then Robinhood gets in and they say, hey, you know what? You can sell shares, but you can't buy them anymore. You can't buy GME or AMC Entertainment or others that you may have heard about that they were trying to short the sell. And this really threw off the swing of things. You know, they had a momentum going, but then that blocking people from buying more shares, really defeated the purpose of what retail investors were trying to do. And then Robinhood even blocked and censored some people, which is upsetting because whatever happened to, it's free trade. That's the whole point. And their CEO spoke out on it, and he said that it was for safety reasons that this was blocked. He said it was to stop us from YOLOing our money away. However, this wasn't really for Robinhood to decide because they're the middleman, they're the brokerage. And what's really interesting is with the name like Robinhood, the whole take from rich and give to the poor, you would think they could have had a different stance on the whole thing happening with the retail investors by betting against the people on Wall Street. Because essentially what that was them taking from the rich and trying to give to the poor. Which leads me to my next point. I would really recommend Webull or Fidelity. That will be coming. I will be talking about videos of how to open up those accounts. And Robinhood seems to be getting into all sorts of hot water lately, guys. Even like Elon Musk and other big investors and even politicians have met with the CEO of Robinhood. And everyone's talking about it. This is huge. But Robinhood, like I said, they've really been in some hot water lately. So I would steer clear of using it. That's all I have for today, you guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. I know I talked about a lot today, so please feel free to rewind if you're still wondering about some things with what's happening in the stock market lately, because it really is a lot of information to take in. So thank you, everyone. Remember, we making money moves.